Okay, so briefly, right? So a conditional statement, if true, execute this statement, and we use those to control how we want our program to flow, right? So if we have lines of code here, line code, and then our code gets here, then only if this statement is true would this execute. True or false would be returned from what we learned in the previous lecture, a Boolean expression. And these lines here would always execute regardless, right? Because they are not part of this if statement. Only this piece would be part of the if statement. So the syntax for a conditional statement is if, and then Boolean expression. And we need, and then some statement, some Python statement. Okay, so that's how we can build an if statement. So for example, let's see here. That's fine. So we go here. We have this piece here, and we have this piece here. However, we only want to display this statement if the result is true, and we want to display this statement if the result is odd. Okay, so if we run it right now, let me go here and run, and we'll get some number in there, number 11. So we have even, false, odd, true. So if the number is not even, then we don't want to display this piece here. We only want to display this, and vice versa. If the number is even, then we want to do the opposite, right? So if we do 10, then we do not want to display odd. So that's like a very simple use case to introduce the if statement. So we can go here and we can say if what? If result equals true, and then we have to come to the beginning here, and then we have to do tab to indent it with the tab. Okay, so now we have a conditional statement here. Notice here inside we have the Boolean expression. If result equal true, then print. If it's not, then it's not gonna print it. And then down here we will do the same. We'll say if result equal true, go home here, and then tab, make sure we get the proper indentation. So let me see here. Okay, so let's see here. Let's try with number 11. So we go here and number 11. So notice initially up here we had even, false for 11, but down here, since we said only if result is true, we want to display this statement. So notice only odd, true, because the other statement is like, well, if result is true, then do this statement. Just to make sure we understand what's going on here, we capture a number, and then we call is even, and then we check, like, was the result true or false for even. If it's true, display it. Afterward, we call is odd, okay? And then we check again the result variable, and that's what's happening here. So now let's do the value 10. So we go here and value 10. So now value 10, result is true for even. So down here we get even, true. But if we check to see if 10 is odd, then it's not. So then this piece is false. So then we don't get this piece here. Questions here? So in reality, we didn't really have to create is odd if we have is even, but when we create those functions, we had not introduced conditional statements. So we went ahead and created one for each, right? But if we had this knowledge the previous lecture, then we wouldn't have to do this. But it's still a good example to introduce the conditional statement if. Questions here?
Sir, for this true statement, we have to run in both at the same time?
Okay, this statement and this statement here?
Yeah.
Do we have to write them both?
I mean, do we have to run the code for these two statements same time, or each one run separate?
No, in this program here, when we run it one time, it'll run all of this program. So the answer is one time. Now,
Okay.
if we want to run them separately, then we would need to create a different file, right? Okay, so let's see here. Let me go here. I'm just looking for the data for the next example, so just bear with me. I have it here. Okay, so let me save this, and I'll just say introduction to if statement, right? So I'll commit it. Push. Let me stop here.